Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. How are you, Mataji?
Danvat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I'm good, Mataji. How are you doing?
Mataji, I'm so tired today. I worked really hard because, it's like the second day I felt really good. So I think I overdid it. I was just doing a lot of things in the house today. I've been in one room all day, but I've been just doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cooking and washing and phone calls and classes and it's just over, one thing after another. How are you feeling, Mataji?
I'm better today, Mataji.
Yeah? It's hard, I bet, in the morning, huh?
Actually, for me, it continues whole day.
Oh,
not only in the morning, but
that's
today
gotta be hard.
I'm better.
That's got to be so hard, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lila Manjari, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. How are you, Mataji?
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. I'm good. Shanti Mataji and Janma Mataji are also on the call.
Very nice. Very nice. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I'm knocked out. Very knocked out. Because today was the first day I was able to get up and I feel great. You know what I mean? I got up early to chant and everything, but I'm very tired. I did a lot of work today. So, yeah, I was going to go and do exercise tonight, and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going anywhere. After class, I think I'm going to sleep for a little nap.
Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah. Can't you tell? I mean, when I'm feeling good, my stomach's fine, all those things. It's just really nice to not be sick, anymore. At least I'm not sick now, so. Okay. So I guess we could start with the prayers, yes, Mataji? Because it's 4 minutes after, and then just move right into it, if that's okay with everyone else. Okay, no one says anything, so I guess it means yes. Okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Okay, Mataji. I have a short verse today, which I can make very long if I want to. Okay. Today I'm doing Canto 3, Chapter 2, Text 21. Okay. Svayam tu asam yatishyas triyadisha Farajya Lakshmi Apta Samasta Kama Balim Harad Chiraloka Pale Chirita Koti Edita Parapita. Okay, translation. Lord Sri Krishna is the Lord of all kinds of threes and is independently supreme by achievement of all kinds of fortune. He is worshipped by the eternal maintainers of the creation, who offer him the paraphernalia of worship by touching their millions of helmets to his feet. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Sri Krishna is so mild and merciful as described in the above verses, and yet he is the Lord of all kinds of threes. Okay, now I just want to stop as I'm going along. It's a very short purport. You know, when I looked it up, I asked, why is the Lord, he's the Lord of all threes? And basically, just like we have in Christianity, the Trinity, it's very similar in some ways. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but he's worshipped. Just a minute, I had a really nice verse here that I was looking for. Just a moment. This might be it. But, well, here it is. You know, just the idea that there are three forms of one God. In that regard, because I can't get connected right now. Like there are three forms in one God. You know, Krishna. Well, here it says. Let's see, how does it say it? It says the Svayam Rupa, the Tad Ekatma Rupa, and Avesha Rupa. Well, and I'm just thinking of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. You know, and also in Christianity, it says that there are three forms of one God. Now, after that, they take totally diverging routes, but he is the Lord of all kinds of threes. And I don't know any other reason why it's all these threes of this and threes of that, but he's the Supreme Lord of the three worlds. Now, I looked it up because I didn't even know how to explain that myself, okay? And I'm sure the ladies who've been around for a long time, you know. However, what I did was, I had bought this book too, but trust me, I did not have time today to go through all the books. But this is a book by one of our devotees. It's called Vedic Cosmology and Astronomy, and it's Richard L. Thompson. He is definitely a devotee of Lord. He's one of us. And so I looked it up. Just a moment. Here it is, by Krishna, in Krishna books. Well, here they call it, yeah, well, his name is here. It explains it kind of nicely. Mataji's, I'm freaking out because, give me a moment, because what I looked up and what I'm finding here look very different. So let me go and look. If you give me just a few minutes. There are several that look the same.
Take your time, Mataji, it's fine.
Yeah, I have it in here because I was just looking at it. Brother. And this was kind of, he really gets detailed, let me tell you. I don't even understand him half the time when he's talking. But okay, let me try it one more time. Somehow I think it was in a PDF format. And it's not, okay, I'm trying to humor myself here because I just had it. Come on. I even had the chapter and everything. Just a moment. Yeah, it's just not in the spot where I was just looking. Let me keep going. I will find it. It was an article, something he wrote and explained very nicely the three worlds. And I thought I would explain those three worlds if I could just. Oh, boy. Well, if I can't, that'll be okay too. I will just have to. Can't believe this. Anyhow, I do have his book. I maybe have to look in a different spot because it's not coming up the way I want it to. And we do have it under Krishna.com. No, it's not giving me, it's giving me just the table of contents. And prior to that, I had the actual text. And I looked it up exactly the way the text said. So I'm going to look one more time. Otherwise, otherwise I'll just have to wing it for just a minute here. Planet's heliosystem. I'm just a little bit mad that I'm not finding it. Now I'm finding I think it's the whole book. I don't understand. Okay, but the point was that there are, now this is really important. I really feel I should find it. And I'm upset now because I can't. Maybe it's under a PDF form. I might have it downloaded on my computer already and I don't realize it. Just one moment, I'll go under Adobe Acrobat because I put so much stuff in here. No, it's not in here. Okay. Well, okay. Later on, I'll read a text which is longer from the Srimad Bhagavatam and kind of explains all of this. But basically, these three worlds, the way I'm understanding them, are Svarga, Martya, and Patala. And these are three planetary systems which are below Brahmaloka. So you're talking about three kinds of heavenly regions. That's one way to look at this. And then it's also known as Bhuva, and Sva. And Bhu is the Earth planet, Bhuva is the sky, and Sva is the heaven. And so Earth also means the Sat potency, sky is the Chit, and the heaven is the Ananda, Sat, Chit, Ananda. And so those were two ways that I saw that this referred to as the three worlds. And someone had asked in their question, like, well, why isn't hell, the hellish planets in there? And I don't think that when the Upanishads were written, that they referred to the hellish planets at that time. So this is what I had read. Now, I could be wrong, but in any way, I'm going to come back to this later because I have another site, pray tell I find it, and it really goes into detail about these, the situation of the cosmos and where all of this is located. Okay, the term basically Richard Thompson had said it was the terminology of the three worlds. Now there are three qualities of material nature. Isn't that funny that this all comes in threes? And I'm going to read that. We know what this model is, but I'd like to read it. I found some nice articles. So I spent the whole afternoon doing this, and now I can't find anything. So, because I'm on a tablet, and sometimes the tablet doesn't send me to the right sites. Okay, let's see if I can get it now. Here it is. Okay, this is under Krishna Village, the Triguna model, 3 modes of material nature. And I just like the way it was described. It's not real long, but it kind of, it does it in detail. It's a studying the Bhagavad Gita as part of her yoga philosophy assessment. Our trainee, now qualified yoga teacher, Barbara, has delved more into the concept of the Triguna model. Read here what she has to share. Now, this is coming from Krishna Village Eco Yoga Community. Guna is a Sanskrit word that can be translated into quality, mode, or attribute. There are 3 modes of material nature: tamas, darkness or ignorance; rajas, excess, passion; and sattva, goodness, balance. It is believed that all beings, objects, and activities in the material world have a combination of all 3 modes, varying only in quantity. For example, imagine you have baked a cake for your relative on their birthday. Something upsets you during the day, and then you accidentally eat the whole cake yourself, not giving it to your relative. Afterwards, you have a tummy ache and feel really guilty. Boy, that sounds like me. In this simple example, you can see all 3 qualities of nature at work. The intention of goodness is sattvic. Afterwards, we see tamasic qualities creep in the way of depression and or anger. And lastly, the decision to obsess on emotions and allow us to behave in an excessive manner is rajasic. It is believed that the levels of each guna in our lives can be controlled. This has a direct effect on your overall happiness on earth and determines your progress in life. And then this goes into each one. Sattva, goodness or balance. Sattva is the quality of goodness and stability. Experiencing high levels of sattva, we feel happy and content, a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. Sattvic actions and objects feel good to do and be around. There are no negative effects. Examples of sattva are healthy happiness, joy and contentment, freedom, truth, selflessness, wisdom, unconditional love, enlightenment. Now, rajas or excess passion, gotta watch this one myself. Rajas is the quality of being active or agitated. Things like binge watching Netflix or an addiction to coffee fall into this category. Rajasic things tend to feel really great at the beginning, but have a less than favorable long-term effect. If we live in the mode of rajas long-term, constantly on adrenaline, we are prone to burnout. Thank you. Examples of rajas are passion, energy, adrenaline rush, selfishness, greed, materialistic desires, lust, anger, and excessive activity. Oh boy, that's me. Tamas is darkness or ignorance. The mode of nature we call tamas refers to qualities we better stay away from. They are seen as darkness and ignorance. Things and activities in this quality feel less than favorable and have a long-term negative effect on us and the people around us. Examples of tamas are excessive sleep, laziness, underactivity, being disturbed, depression, destruction, drugs. Summing it up, we should strive to promote sattva in our lives and introduce rajas wherever necessary to get stuff done and be in an active, creative mode. Tamas is necessary in the form of sleep or relaxation, but should be kept very limited otherwise. In the Bhagavad Gita, the mode of goodness is considered the platform we need to reach in order to be able to have a sustainable and stable spiritual life. Before we can reach higher states of consciousness, we need to become conscious first. The more we transcend and let go of stress, egotism, and material distractions and are in touch with our true selves, the better we can connect to our higher self and ultimately the divine. Okay, and so this was a student who wrote about those 3 modes of material nature. So, okay, we've got these 3 worlds and the 3 modes of material nature. and the three Purushas. Now I'm going to read in that one article in that one verse that I found. It should explain all of this. The Karanodakshai, Garbhodakshai, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Okay, and let's see. I could read it under the three features of the Purusha avatar. I found that under ISKCON. So let me read that because this is pretty short today. Excuse me, I need to get a Kleenex. I'm sorry. A lot of allergies out there in this weather. Okay. And let me look this one up too. This one was very nice also. There were some articles that were, they weren't real long, and I thought, better than, they're written, they're nicely written. If I can get out of this, it would be very nice, Mataji's. I'm having a lot of trouble with my, okay, I'm almost there. Here it is. The three features of the Purusha avatar ISKCON. Okay, well, nice picture of Prabhupada. This is, well, it's not that long. So I'm going to read most of this. A part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. And I need to hear this. I hope everyone else does, because I get so confused with these different incarnations and avatars. Like, in other words, putting them in order. Not that I don't know who they are, but putting them in order is always hard for me. Okay, so a part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel lake of his body sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower atop this stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest. The first Purusha is the Karanodakshai Vishnu. From his skin holes, innumerable universes have sprung up. In each and every universe, the Purusha enters as the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. He is lying within the half of the universe which is full with the water of his body. And from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu has sprung the stem of the lotus flower, the birthplace of Brahma, who is the father of all living beings and the master of all the demigod engineers engaged in the perfect design and working of the universal order. Within the stem of the lotus, there are 14 divisions of planetary systems, and the earthly planets are situated in the middle. Upwards, there are other, better planetary systems, and the topmost system is called Brahmaloka or Satyaloka. Downwards from the earthly planetary system, there are 7 lower planetary systems inhabited by the Asuras and similar other materialistic living beings. And I just wanted to tell you as a side note, I was reading further into this about these 7 lower planetary systems. And those 7 planets are actually the way that the days of the week are organized both in English and Latin and Sanskrit. So I thought that was pretty cool, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The sun would be for Sunday, and Monday I think was Mars, and Tuesday, I'm trying to remember what Tuesday was, Mercury. Yeah, Tuesday was. So in the Vedic cosmology, Mercury does not come first. Okay, Mars, and then I think it's Mercury, and then Wednesday, I forget, but they're in a totally different order, and the way they're listed in Spanish and all the Latin-based languages originally came from Sanskrit, which I think is really cool. And that was just a little side note. From Garbhodakshai Vishnu, there is an expansion of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the collective Paramatma of all living beings. He is called Hari, and from him, all incarnations within the universe are expanded. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Purusha avatar is manifested in three features. First, the Karanodakshai, who creates aggregate material ingredients in the Mahatattva. Second, the Garbhodakshai, who enters in each and every universe. And the third, the Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the Paramatma of every material object, organic or inorganic. One who knows these plenary features of the personality of Godhead knows Godhead properly, and thus the knower becomes freed from the material conditions of birth, death, old age, and disease, as it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Now let's see. I'm not going to read all of this because it's... So that's the three features of the Purusha avatar. So then back into the text, we have, and I'm going to come back to this because there's a very nice verse that just puts the whole purport together very nicely. There are innumerable universes, and in each and every universe, there are different manifestations of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. And I will go into that a little bit further on. We know that Rudra is another name for Lord Shiva, and of course Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Shiva is the destroyer. Now, besides that, there's the Shesha Murti. This confused me beyond all belief. I was looking this up, and I could not... This Shesha Murti, I'm going to look in Ajalila because that's where I think I found something that made sense about this incarnation of Vishnu. It's an incarnation of Vishnu. And there. And now I'll have to go back. I'll have to go back because everything that I've looked up, let me go to Vedabase and just go into the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Aji-lila, and it's 5.120, and I'll look that up. 5.120, and it's just a very small thing. I didn't remember who Shesha was. I've heard these names over and over again, but I was not brought up with this, so I forget. It says that this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Ajalila 5.120. That Ananta Shesha is the devotee incarnation of Godhead. He knows nothing but service to Lord Krishna. And I hope I have the right one. Srila Jiva Goswami in his Krishna Sandarbha has described Sheshanaga as follows. Sri Anantadev has thousands of faces and is fully independent, always ready to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He waits upon him constantly. Sankarshan is the first expansion of Vasudev. And because he appears by his own will, he is called Svarat, fully independent. He is therefore infinite and transcendental to all limits of time and space. He himself appears as the thousand-headed Shesha. Yeah, this is the right one. In the Skanda Purana, in the Ayodhya Mahatmya chapter, the demigod Indra requested Lord Shesha, who was standing before him as Lakshmana, please go to your eternal abode, Vishnu Loka, where your expansion Shesha with his serpentine hoods is also present. After thus dispatching Lakshmana to the regions of Patala, Lord Indra returned to his abode. This quotation indicates that the Sankarshan of the quadruple form descends with Lord Ram as Lakshmana. When Lord Ram disappears, Shesha again separates himself from the personality of Lakshmana. Shesha then returns to his own abode in the Patala regions, and Lakshmana returns to his abode in Vaikuntha. And then it says the Lagu Bhagavatamrita gives the following description. The Sankarshan of the second group of quadruple forms appears as Ram, taking with him Shesha, who bears the global spheres. There are two features of Shesha. One is the bearer of the globes, and the other is the bedstead servitor. The Shesha who bears the globes is a potent incarnation of Sankarshan, and therefore he is sometimes also called Sankarshana. The bedstead feature of Shesha also presents himself as an eternal servitor of the Lord. So that is, I guess he looks like a serpent, right? With many, 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 many heads. And he bears all the universes on his hoods, the hood of, I guess, his backs of his head, maybe. Okay, and Lord Krishna is the Lord of them all. Okay, as the incarnation of Manu, he is the original source of all Manus in innumerable universes. Okay, and so I'm going to look, this I did look up also. Just a minute. Well, I don't remember where I have it now. I guess I'll get to it shortly. Yeah, this is that verse that I wanted to read to all of you that was the long one. And it has, it's got everything. It covers all the bases here. And this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. If I can just get in there. And it's the third chapter. Oh, excuse me. And the fifth verse. Okay. So this will cover everything up to this point. In the purport, the Purusha, after creating innumerable universes in the Mahatattva, entered in each of them as the second Purusha, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, when he, I read all this to you before. Okay. From Brahma, there is Rudra, or Shiva, who is in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, all three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are incarnations of the Garbhodakshay Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marichi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities within the universe. This Garbhodakshay Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas in the hymns of Garbha Stuti, which begin with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is the Lord of the universe, and although he appears to be lying within the universe, he is always transcendental. This also has already been explained. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion of the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, is the super soul of the universal life. And he is known as the maintainer of the universe, or Kshirodakshay Vishnu. So the three features of the original Purusha are thus understood, and all incarnations within the universe are emanations from this Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Okay, in different millennia, there are different incarnations, and they are innumerable, although some of them are very prominent, such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Ram, Nasima, Vamana, and many others. These incarnations are called Lila incarnations. Then there are qualitative incarnations, such as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, or Rudra, who take charge of the different modes of material nature. Lord Vishnu is non-different from the personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is in the marginal position between the personality of Godhead and the living entities, or jivas. Brahma is always a jiva tattva. The highest pious living being, or the greatest devotee of the Lord, is empowered with the potency of the Lord for creation, and he is called Brahma. His power is like the power of the sun, reflected in valuable stones and jewels. When there's no such living being to take charge of the post of Brahma, the Lord himself becomes a Brahma and takes charge of the post. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living being. He is the plenary portion of the Lord. But because Lord Shiva is in direct touch with material nature, he is not exactly in the same transcendental position as Lord Vishnu. The difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in place of milk. The next incarnations are the Manus. That's why the Manus, I'm not sure I understand. I looked that up, and it says that they were rulers in the higher planetary systems, and they give direction to human society through scriptures. And they live for 71 Divya Yugas. And of course, we've got 4 Yuga cycles times 71. Okay, so the next incarnations are the Manus, and within 1 day's duration of the life of Brahma, which is calculated by our solar year as 4,300,000 times 1,000 years, there are 14 Manus. Now, I'm understanding Manu here, and somebody can correct me, like time periods, because, it's, or maybe they're not. I'm confused on that. But I would think that a Manu is a time period. But then I also read that Manus are incarnations. They're rulers in the higher planetary systems and give direction of human society through scripture. So somebody can clear that up for me.
Yeah, you are correct. Both are true.
Both of them?
So in 1 day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus who appear.
Right.
So because 1 day of Brahma is a time scale, depending on which Manu is ruling, it's called his time period. So when they perform Vedic sacrifices, they usually they specify the location of the place. They specify where it's how that place is lying between 2 rivers, or so that they get the exact location of the place. And they also describe the time of the day, and that includes, they will say something like this: Vaivasvata Manmantre. That means they will mention the current Manu who is ruling the planets, because it's his time to rule the planets.
Okay, these are like dynasties then.
They're not like dynasties, but you can say like it's their time. Yeah, like how sometimes there's dynasties are described. Yeah, that may be one way of looking at it. But basically, they are not coming from the same lineage. But how you described it, they are higher beings who rule and guide humanity.
Okay. So here I thought it was just a time period, but it is the time period within the rule of a certain
person. Yeah.
Person. Yes. Okay. Now I got you. See, I totally got that all wrong. For years I was misunderstanding that. And like you said, there are 14 Manus, and then therefore there are 420, and thank you for clearing that up for me, Mataji. Therefore, there are 420 Manus in 1 month of Brahma. So that would mean that 420 different rulers ruled within that month of Brahma. Yes? And 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years of his age. And therefore, there are 5,040 times 100, or 504,000 Manus in the duration of Brahma's life. And that is mentioned here in the text. Each universe has manifestations of 504,000 Manus. There are innumerable universes with 1 Brahma in each of them. And all of them are created and annihilated during the breathing of the Purusha. And therefore, one can simply imagine how many millions of Manus there are during one breath of the Purusha. And then they give the names. I'm not going to name them all. But the Manus who are prominent within this universe are as follows, and they give all of them: Yagya and Svayambhuva Manu and Vibhu as Sarochisha Manu, and there's a whole bunch here. And at the end it says these are the names of one set of 14 Manus covering 4 billion, 4,300 million solar years as described above. Then there are the Yuga avatars, or the incarnations of the millennia. The Yugas are known as Satya Yuga, Treta, etc. So that was the verse that really I thought explained it quite well in the Bhagavatam, right in the first canto. Now, he is the Lord, Krishna, we're referring to the Lord Sri Krishna. He's the Lord of the three principal potencies, namely Chit Shakti, Maya Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. And Chit Shakti is the spiritual potency. The Maya Shakti is the illusory energy. And the Tatastha Shakti is the marginal potency. So again, we have 3. And we're saying that the Lord is the complete master of 6 kinds of fortune: wealth, strength, fame, beauty. Now, he is the master of all of these. And so what is the whole purpose of talking about all of this? The whole purpose is that I don't care how many avatars there are, how many incarnations there are, how many worlds there are, how many Manus there are, how many potencies and qualities of material nature. There is no one above Lord Krishna. There's no one equal or greater than him. Not Lord Shiva, none of them, okay, can compare. They're not greater than him. It's the duty of everyone to surrender completely unto him. It's very interesting because yesterday I had my class in the morning, and Shanti Mataji was on that class, and it was just the 2 of us with Jay Prabhu. And Jay really asked some deep questions. And he said to me, well, I mean, is Lord Shiva higher than Lord Krishna? He said, because I don't think so, but my brother, he worships Shiva, and he keeps saying he's really something else. And I said, yeah, but he can't be higher than Krishna, because Krishna is above all of them. He created all of us. He created Brahma, etc. So he created every single universe, every manifestation, every incarnation. There's no one higher than Lord Krishna. And I think it's very hard for some people, because he was confused. He thought that everybody in India thought that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I had to explain that no, that's not necessarily how it goes. I mean, yes, the people in India, just like people all over the world, have had to be educated in the science of self-realization, of Krishna consciousness, because many are still following the caste system, which is, we're talking about the mundane platform when we're referring to the caste system. If you're born as a Shudra, you'll always be a Shudra. If you're a Brahmana, you'll always be a Brahmana. That is not the way Krishna consciousness works. We have those different designations. There are Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas and Shudras, but it's not by birthright. It's by level of consciousness, or by action. How you behave will determine where you belong. And it doesn't matter what caste you're from, what race you are, because it would have been, and as Shanti Mataji was saying yesterday, it would have been insane to think that a white person could go into some of these temples. They weren't allowed in Nepal in some of the temples. And they didn't worship Krishna necessarily as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So first we have to know who is Lord Krishna, and we have to know that he is the cause of all causes. And if he is the cause of all causes, then no one can be equal to him or greater than him, not even equal to him. We can, and the jivas also. We have the God spark within us. We have Krishna within us. We have his quality, but we can never be as big as Krishna. We are not capable of producing these three Purushas or all these billions of universes. We don't have this ability. So how can we say we are Lord Krishna? We've been talking about this in class, that we can't be God. It's just, once we have come off that platform of I am God, I can become God, we're beginning to see the light. There is no one who has all strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation other than Krishna. And no one can do it to the degree he can. It's just not possible. And so if he's the cause of all causes, nothing comes before him. He always was. He always existed. He's just always been there. He is everything. So we have to know that. And it's mind-boggling when you think about it. I mean, he's amazing, but how can we even conceive of it? Before the material creation, there was Krishna. So I want to stop there. Just our duty to remember who he is and over what does he reign? Everything. Everything. Since time immemorial. And there is no one higher than he is. So that's all I have today. I don't know. I hope I didn't go on too long. I probably bored some of you. But I wanted to do some reading before I started talking about this. So that's all I have today, Mataji's. You please correct me if I'm wrong. And thank you again, Lila Manjari, for explaining the Manus, because when I think of, like they'll say the Qin dynasty or the Li dynasty, or whatever, those were periods of time in China. That's why I was just making that analogy. Like in the period of the Qin dynasty, certain things happen and expand, and a certain number of years or even decades passed through that dynasty. And so that's why I was trying to liken a Manu to like how a dynasty is, because all the dynasties are named after different rulers of China and the periods of time that they ruled. And as long as I can make that kind of connection, it makes it easier for me to understand what a Manu is.
Yes, so. Mataji, yes. I think that was a nice comparison. But when you first said that, like, I couldn't think of it like that, but then when you said it again, then
yeah, because it gives the name. It gives the name of the ruler, and his dynasty is the period of time that he ruled. The blah blah dynasty. You know what I mean? And I think the Egyptians did the same thing. So now I understand Manu better. Boy, did I not understand that at all. I mean, I understood it partially, that it was a time period, but I didn't realize that it was certain people, certain rulers, and the time period within which they ruled. So that's it, Mataji. Do you have anything you'd like to add, correct? I'm still confused on that Sheshamurti. Well, I mean, it was explained. So, yeah, it makes sense now.
Hare Krishna, Gordon Lila Mataji. Thank you
Hare
for
Krishna.
the very beautiful class. Um, I was very impressed with all the different references you got from so many different places. Your classes always have so much of detail and so much of thought in it. So yeah, I really like them.
Oh, thank you. I just look up what I can find. It helps me to understand the verses because I think for some of you, these are names and things that you understand already from having grown up with, you know, with Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas or the stories from Mahabharata, but I did not. So when I see Shesha, yeah, I've heard the word 10,000 times, but it just I couldn't make a connection at that moment. And the Manus and things like that, you know, and I'm just so upset that I couldn't find that article by Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, Richard Thompson, because I have his book.
Yeah.
I should have just gone to the book, but it really explains the cosmology very nicely, and I wish I could have read that today.
Mataji, we can hear it some other time, or even you can send us the reference through email so we all can look into it later.
Okay.
Yeah. Mataji, one thing is, can you read that specific, I don't know if you'll be able to find now, but if you can find, are you able to read that sentence which said that like Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are incarnations or emanations, one of those words of Sarpodakshay Vishnu?
Yeah, that was, I can tell you where that came from. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Verse 5. Let me look that up. You want me to read that again?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, let me go back in there and find it. It won't take long. Because I know where the database, I've got the database real fast here.
Sure, Mataji. It's fine now. You can take your time, Mataji.
See, I'm on a tablet, and sometimes it gets stuck. I'm sitting here trying to. Here,
maybe someone else can share in the meantime, Mataji, while you're looking, so that way,
sure,
you know, don't feel the.
That's fine, Mataji. Okay. Come on, Canto 3. Okay. No one has anything they want to say? Let's see.
Thank you, Mataji. It was a very nice and detailed class. Thank you.
Okay. I'm looking for Brahma Shiva. Here it is. Okay, Mataji. It says, now, of course, this was from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, verse 5. It says, this has always been explained. From Brahma, there is Rudra or Shiva, who is in charge of the mode of ignorance or darkness. He destroys the whole creation by the will of the Lord. Therefore, all three, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are incarnations of the Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From Brahma, the other demigods like Daksha, Marichi, Manu, and many others become incarnated to generate living entities within the universe. The Garbhodakshai Vishnu is glorified in the Vedas in the hymns of Garbha Stuti, which begin with the description of the Lord as having thousands of heads, etc. Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the Lord of the universe. And although he appears to be lying within the universe, he is always transcendental. This also has already been explained. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion of the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, is the super soul of the universal life. And he is known as the maintainer of the universe, or Kshirodakshai Vishnu. So the three features of the original Purusha are thus understood, and all the incarnations within the universe are emanations from this Kshirodakshai Vishnu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for reading again. I was hearing it for the first time, so I just wanted to like hear and understand it.
It's a little tough for me to get it. The Vishnu, who is the plenary portion, I don't know what that means, of the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, is the super soul of the universal life.
Mataji, I do not know much. I can say something of what I know, that there is Mahavishnu who is lying in the causal ocean. Actually, Rushali Mataji gave this class. Maybe she can say also. So what I remember, so there is Mahavishnu who is sleeping in the who is lying in the causal ocean, and like many different universities, like many thousands of universes are coming from the pores of his skin. Now, for each universe, there is actually what is called as a Garbhodak ocean at the bottom of the universe. And Garbhodakshay Vishnu actually lies in that universe. And then from his navel, actually Lord Brahma comes.
From Garbhodakshay Vishnu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for each of those universes, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, like you were reading, he is the main person from whom everything starts to come. Basically, everything starts to emanate. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, he's like I can say like the controller of each universe. So
okay. And then, so that Kshirodakshay Vishnu is, is he...
Kshirodakshay Vishnu is Paramatma, right? That's what we read.
Yeah.
Who enters every atom of the universe, and then he actually enters our body also as Paramatma. So Krishna, actually, when we say Krishna is residing in our heart as Paramatma, he is residing as Kshirodakshay Vishnu.
See, I have to make these connections because I didn't make that connection before. I think sometimes it can take years to figure all of this out.
Yeah. Mataji, even for me, it took very, very long time. Even now, I don't clearly know everything, but I think as we keep going, reading more and more, then I think it gets a little bit more, we get more idea of what is actually being said. But yeah, maybe somebody else can also add. That's my understanding of what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mataji, actually, I forgot what I said that time, but I'm looking into my notes. So, what I have written here, Mahavishnu is the first Purusha incarnation of Govinda, Lord Krishna. Mahavishnu, Karnodakshay Vishnu, goes to Yog Nidra, Milky Ocean, that is mystic sleep, and the innumerable universes are situated in every ear holes of his transcendental body. So as per what Premarasa Mataji just said, it's the same.
Okay. Maybe this is, I just visualize it better. Okay.
Yeah.
Mataji, do you have that part of Garbhodakshay Vishnu in your notes?
Yes. So the first
that part also.
So the Lord Vishnu first created the Brahma and the ingredients for creation. So the first Purusha incarnation is Mahavishnu, and second Purusha incarnation is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, from whom Brahma is created. And third Purusha Avatara is the Shirodaksha Vishnu, who lives as the supreme super soul in every living entities in the universe and maintains the creation generated by Brahma.
Okay. Now, it's, I don't know how many times I've heard this, but it's starting to click a little bit. Yeah.
So from Mahavishnu is lying in the ocean. I'm just summarizing it again, Mataji, so for our understanding. So Mahavishnu is actually lying in the causal ocean, and from the pores of his body, unlimited universes are coming out. Now, just like when a state is formed, we need, or when there is a country, we need a president for the country. So similarly, when all of these universes have come out, then we need somebody who is going to look after basically that universe. So that job is being done by Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So he's like the second Purusha incarnation who enters each universe. So first was Mahavishnu, who was sending lot of universes from his body. Now the second incarnation, Purusha incarnation, is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who is entering each universe. And from his navel, Brahma is coming. Now, when Brahma comes, then there is a lot of like living entities and lot of different things that come. So Krishna again enters as Shirodaksha Vishnu in the form of Paramatma into each living entity. So that is the third Purusha incarnation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And Lord Shiva is one of many sons of Brahma, and he annihilates the creation.
He did what?
Annihilates. Lord Shiva is for destruction, Nana Mataji.
Oh, annihilated. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, because I want to be able to explain this properly too. When it's my turn to explain it someday, I'm going to have to explain it. It's not so simple. Okay. And it's interesting because, like I said, I had the one student who said, well, can Lord Shiva is he equal to Lord Krishna? Well, no. It's just the difference, right here, it's just the difference is like that between milk and curd. Curd is nothing but milk, and yet it cannot be used in place of milk. So once, they both come from milk, but one cannot be switched back to milk. Once you have curd, you can't switch it back to milk. So they're not exactly the same. And Lord Shiva, is below Lord Krishna, under Lord Krishna, rather.
Mataji, if you want to read in more detail, Rompad Maharaj had given some classes on Brahma Samhita prayers, I think in Seattle during the Thanksgiving weekend 4 or 5 years ago. So if you go into his website, I'll look for it. I'll send you the link. Those lectures on Brahma Samhita, he talks about all of this. He talks about the position of Shiva.
I saw them. Do you know that, Mataji? I saw them, but for some reason, I never saw the universe this way growing up, so I have to, it's like I'm redoing my whole way of thinking. So I might have to hear it many times. This is the one piece that for me takes a little longer.
Mm-hmm. No, Mataji, it takes us also longer. We also didn't know all this when we grew up. So, yeah, it happens for all of us. Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I have today, Mataji. But I thank you for giving me a chance to read about the nectar of Lord Krishna and research, because that's how we learn. This is how we learn. Without that, we don't learn anything. I think it's important that all of us at one point or another, it's important that that we each give a class at one point. because it really forces us to know the material. They say if you can teach if you can teach the material, if you want to learn the material, try to teach it. And if you can teach it, then you've mastered the material. That's what I've heard. Now, even my guru says that, but many others say that. As teachers, we learn a particular subject matter, but we still have to go back. And before we teach that subject matter, we have to say, okay, can I actually make these people understand what I'm saying? And if I can express what I just read, then I've mastered it. If I can't express it, I probably don't know the material well enough yet. So that's it. Thank you all for being, I guess I'll go then. And I thank you all for being here for me and helping me in my Krishna consciousness. And that's it. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.